Welcome back to Spencer FYI, and I have a couple members of the ADA Council joining me, Stevie Shively and Tom Rutt. Thank you for coming.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
So we're going to talk a little bit about ADA Council and what is the ADA Council and how did it get started here in town?
It's a group of people who basically have very strong feelings about providing good services for people with disabilities. And actually, the city was requested or highly encouraged in the early 90s, I think it was about 1992, to start a committee or to have a committee that could kind of field questions, I think, in the community and make some recommendations to the city. So it started kind of as a requirement. And I'm not sure that it really is a requirement of cities in Iowa anymore, but our city has been very good about encouraging us to continue and to actually enlarge our committee or our council. Anyone basically can be a member that comes to our meetings, and we just include them on our list, and then they're invited back the next week.
So when do you meet?
We meet the first Tuesday of every month, right? And we have a secretary that works for the city, and she sends out an agenda. And Tom, bless his heart, has set up programs for us, things that are pertinent to people with disabilities, or perhaps they would like more information about our committee and how we could be of service to them. And so we meet at 5 o'clock at City Hall.
Yeah, and that's really our basis. We never want people to think that we're the gotcha ADA Council. We're not trying to hand out fines or things, and we don't have that ability anyway. We're here to educate and inform because Iowans, we're known for being nice people, and so we don't want to bother other people. But sometimes it's okay to go up to somebody who has a sight impairment or who's using a mobility device like a wheelchair and say, "May I help you?" And maybe they might want your help, and maybe they won't, and that's okay too. So yeah, really, that's what like as Stevie said, we came out of the Americans with Disabilities Act that came out in '91 by, thank you, Senator Tom Harkin from Iowa for doing that. And it's, yeah, I think there are other groups in other communities that work in ways, it's just that we're kind of sponsored by the city. I know they have a national ADA symposium, I think it's every year, in various places around the country, and this, again, the city has been very generous. Over the years, they have sent people from Spencer to that to see how other people are implementing it and encouraging people to see the ADA is not a bunch of rules. It's just a way to level the playing field so that people with disabilities can just live normal lives.
I know that you do go into the schools and do some things with fourth graders every year, and it seems like that's kind of a very unique opportunity that those kids have.
We really love doing that, and you're right, it's a yearly project. We targeted fourth grade because that's kind of the middle of the elementary, and kids are usually very good about accepting our students who have disabilities, but sometimes by fourth grade we kind of see some cliques happen, and it just seemed a good age to target those kinds of feelings. And so one of the things that we do is we contact the guidance counselor and the fourth grade teachers and the principals, and we provide some curriculum materials with activities that they can do with their students. We also help coordinate a visit by members of our council who have disabilities, and the students come up with questions before they come, and these are folks who maybe were born with a disability, had an accident or a health issue later in their life, and so they kind of tell the kids how their disability has affected their life and what they can do, maybe what they need help with, and it really has a huge impact. We've found. I mean, the folks from our committee will say that when they're out in the community, the kids will come up to them. They might invite their parents to meet them. So it's been a wonderful project. And then in addition to that, we have a poster contest. And that's in conjunction with the guidance counselor and the art teachers. And they make large posters that have a theme called Just Like Me. And then those are judged by our council. And then first, second, third from all the fourth grade classes, not just one fourth grade class, but all the ones at Sacred Heart, Iowa Great Lakes Lutheran, and Lincoln are judged, and then the winners are posted at the public library, as well as get certificates and monetary rewards sponsored by Spencer Rotary. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, great. That sounds like a wonderful thing that you guys do.
It is. We love going into the school.
And if people want to see the posters, we do put them on our Facebook page, Spencer ADA Council.
That's
So
right.
All right, awesome.
They're still there if you want to look at me. It's just, and that's one of our. It's November is when we judge them, and that is one of our hardest meetings. I mean, it's fun, but it's like, oh my gosh, the ideas these kids come up with, and some kids will put writing on their posters, and some will just do drawing, and you'll see the kids doing athletic things. You'll see them doing artistic things. Some just just playing with others, and as Stevie said, we found that fourth grade level, they still have just enough of kid, I guess we'd say, into them to ask some questions about, how do you get dressed, or how do you eat, or how do you go to the grocery store, or whatever. And usually our council members are always very willing to share that, take away that stereotype of, oh, don't talk to them because they're different.
Right, right. Great questions, and the kids aren't afraid, so that's wonderful.
Well, good. And then you also help adults and businesses, and that's
We do.
probably your main focus with the Let's Get Practical event that you had. That was about a year ago.
Now. Yeah. And one of the things that we did with that was that we brought in Michelle Olmus from Kansas City, who became a very good friend of yours.
Yes.
And we brought Michelle in because her approach to working with businesses and any group are that there are easy, practical solutions you can do to your public space or your business to make it more accessible to people with disabilities. And not only are you complying with the ADA Act, you're probably also going to get more people coming to your business. And the last time I checked, that's the reason you have a business, is for people to come and spend money.
Right.
So, I mean, it works for everybody when Spencer is already a nice, welcoming place, when we make ourselves a little more welcoming.
Yeah, she's very not in your face. She just wants you to realize that these are simple, easy changes. And if folks are interested in seeing that video, that video is available, and you have a website as well, right?
Right. So the easiest way to find it is to just go to your whatever search engine you're using, Google or whatever, and do ADA Let's Get Practical. That should bring you to our website, which is ADA Let's Get Practical. And on that website is the link to the video. If they can't find it anywhere, if they need help finding it, they can always contact City Hall, and they can show you how to get to it. And it's a short 12-minute video. There's another, I think it's 13 or so minutes after that. If you want to learn more about Michelle, you can learn more about Michelle. And that's a very interesting story too. But it doesn't take very long to watch this thing, and it gives you an idea of what you can do, and it gives you resources how you can check your place of business, whether it's your church or your business, how to make it more accessible. And it shows you 3 places in town that have already done a nice job of being accessible, and Michelle goes to those places, that one being Sisters Cafe downtown, the public library, and then the Fairway store. And Michelle goes to all these places and shows them the things they're doing well, and gives suggestions for things that they could do if they want to be a little more welcoming. But yeah, it's never, and as you watch the video, it's never that, look, red marks or red check marks. It's always like, here's one way of doing something. What comes to my mind is, we found some places that had some steps to get into a business. And as Michelle said, that should not be a big deal if you would just put something out there saying, hey, if you would like some assistance, please ring a buzzer or do something to get a hold of somebody in the business, and they'll come out to meet you. So yeah.
Or change the door handle where the door handle is.
Right.
Some things
Right.
like that.
Yep.
Yep, great. And so if people have questions, they watched the video and they checked your website, and people have questions, how the best way they can get those answered?
I guess to me, I would go through City Hall, and our secretary, Janae Bover, can get a hold of somebody from the council, and they can reach out to you and give you some more information.
Right. And feel free to attend one of our
Yeah.
meetings or all of our meetings. If they have questions, they certainly are welcome.
All right. Anything else you want to add?
It's just available for people, and we hope that people will use that as a resource because it's just a nice little tool, and we want people made aware of it. And we can't do it, and can't say that enough about SMU and their help with the video because you guys took, I know, hours and hours of footage to put this thing together, and it's very well edited. And so like I say, I would just really take a look at the video, and you'll be surprised how informative and educational it is.
All right, great. And yeah, and it's easy to make your place of business, like you said, your church, your business, maybe even your home, a little more friendly to those folks with disabilities.
Right.
And certainly can do that without spending a lot of money. She made a lot of very, very practical suggestions that you can do by maybe moving a rug or a piece of furniture, you know, just using some creative thinking.
All right, great. Well, thanks for coming in and sharing this information with people.
Thank you.
And
Thank
if
you.
folk have more questions, just contact the city and they'll just get hooked up with you guys, right?
Yep.
Right,
All right. Well, thanks for coming in today.
Thank you.
absolutely.
We'll be back with more FYI right after this.